Rock stars, after analyzing 1,300 songs, I was right. That's right. Let me tell you what I mean by that. Number one, I did not analyze 1,300 songs. I've analyzed way more than 1,300 songs, but specifically, this is a quote from Dave Carlton at hooktheory.com, which is a really cool website. You should check them out. I'm not being endorsed by them or anything else. It's something I discovered years ago. I've told you guys about it before. It's a really cool website. But essentially, Dave, who I believe works or did work, I don't know his status today. I didn't call him or anything, but on hooktheory.com, he's one of their statisticians. And essentially, this website takes songs, popular songs, and analyzes them, much like I analyzed them, except they used some AI to do this. And they analyzed 1,300 songs. And basically what I wanted to do is I wanted to share this information with you because it correlates and matches up exactly with what I have been telling you for a long time now, for way over 10 years, what I've been telling you, what I've been telling my students for like 30-something years, okay? And it's this. There are certain chords that appear, at least in popular music. What we mean by popular music in this case here are songs like, well, that are popular, pop songs. Not jazz, not classical, can be rock, but you know, the basic genres and the stuff that you hear on the radio and what have you all the time. Popular songs, okay? And there are certain patterns that appear. And if you know these patterns, it's gonna help a ton with lots of things. Writing great songs. So if you find that these popular songs all have the same 3 or 4 chords in them, and you want to write a popular song, it might be cool to understand and to know what those 4 chords are, wouldn't it be? So songwriting, it's great for that. It's also great for transcribing songs or learning songs. If you know that there are 4 chords that appear more often than all the other chords, it'd be cool to know that, wouldn't it? It sure would. So learning songs by ear is very, very helpful. Many different reasons why we would want to do this. Okay. Now, with that being said, some of the terms and some of the nomenclature that I'm going to be using today throughout today's lesson, some of it may be over your head. When I'm talking about the Nashville number system, I'm talking about the 1, the 4, and the 5, and that sort of thing. Some of that's going to be over your head for some of you, some of it won't. If it is over your head, you don't have the basics, and that's okay, because I'm giving them to you today for free. The very first link below gives you access to UGS Standard. Please, friends, in order for me to help you, to teach you, you got to know these basics. Start there at that, okay? Or visit me here in Nashville. We'll go over the same stuff. It'll be well over $1,000. Or just get it for free by clicking the link. And if you don't want to do that, if that's too much work, text me. Text FREE to this number, and I will set you up with it. Okay? I'll give that to you again one more time before we leave. Now, I've said for years that if you know the tonal center of the song, and if you know how diatonic harmony is laid out, it's so easy, by the way, friends. Don't let that scare you, that word diatonic harmony. Understanding the basic framework of music is absolutely so easy. That course is going to teach you about this, by the way. But when you understand the major scale, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, right? Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, which is where these numbers come in, the scale steps. And then we understand that of those chords, the 1 is major, the 2 is minor, the 3 is minor, the 4 is major, the 5's major, the 6 minor, and the 7's diminished, and then back to the 1. If you understand that basic concept of major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, Eric, what are you telling me? I'm telling you that the majority of songs follow that basic structure. Okay? Major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished. Diminished. And there are 2 tonal centers. There's the major tonal center and there's the minor tonal center. They share the same sets of chords. If you want it to be minor, just start on the 6th minor, and that's your tonal center, and then your chords would be diminished, major, minor, minor, major, major, with your 6 as the tonal center. So for minor chords, for minor keys, this works. For major keys, this works. Just your tonal center is the 1 or your tonal center is the 6. Again, if it's going over your head, you know what you need. You need that course, okay? But essentially, that's what we're talking about, is we're talking about that basic structure. Now, fast forward to our friends at Hook Theory. Again, they did not ask me to do this. They don't pay me or anything else. I just think it's a great way of looking at things. Let's go to my screen, Mike, if we can.
I suppose.
So right here, what we're looking at, I'm actually on hooktheory.com right here. Basically what this does is this is a matrix of the chords I just told you. Major, major, you can notice that the Roman numerals are either, capitalized or lower caps right here. And essentially that's how it works. Major 1, minor 2, minor 3, major 4, major 5, minor 6, and then more. And the reason this is more, we'll talk about it in just a moment here. But essentially, that's how the chords are laid out in a major key. If we're in a minor key, this is our tonal center. Cool. Doesn't matter. They're the same sets of chords, okay? More about this, search YourGuitarSage relative, major, and minor, and you'll understand their relationship, okay? Can't go into it today. If we want these short form videos where I can't even get to your questions, at least in real time like this, because I've got to teach, then we can't do it, okay? Nonetheless, check this out. We're in a major key, or in a minor key, it doesn't matter. If we're in a major key, the 1's going to appear a lot, more than anything else, because it's our structure, it's our tonal center. If we're in a minor key, then that chord's going to appear most likely more than anything else. But check this out. If we're in a major key, let's say I'm playing a G. It could be a C, it doesn't matter, but in this case here, it's a G. Now we could go up here, we could say the key of G. Well, let's just do that. We'll just do that for kicks and giggles. If I press G, now what this does is this tells me what percentage out of all these popular songs, the 1,300 videos or whatever, that 1,300 songs, popular songs like You Shook Me All Night Long and Someone Like You by Adele and et cetera, you'll see that the songs that are in those keys, this is what happens, is that after the G, the song, all these songs put together, most likely the next chord that we're going to go to is, if we look at the percentages here, most likely it's going to go to a D. So if we went to a D and we added that, what's that going to look like, okay? So let's do that. We're going to go to the G here. If it lets us. Oh, sorry, I got to click underneath it here. Okay, so there we go. So now G to D. So the next chord is most likely going to be an E minor by 34%, the C by 25%. So let's go to the E minor. We're just going to click on that guy, okay? So boom, we're going to add that to the mix. Now the next place that it's going to go by a large majority here is the C chord. So I'm going to click that, and that's our basic chord progression. Now we could keep going with this if we wanted, but this is just showing you percentage-wise what's going to happen. So a G, a D, an E minor, and a C. A million songs. What's My Age Again? You can see it right there. Complicated Girlfriend. All these songs written in that basic style there, okay? And now where would it go next? Most likely back to the G. And that's why a lot of times we have these 4 chords together in a basic chord progression. It's not to say you're stuck in that, but that's just what happens oftentimes. Now I like to do this because I like to think things as relative. And what I mean by that is I don't care what key we're in. Let's just go ahead and say we're in the key of blank. It doesn't matter because the chords are always going to follow a certain format. In the key of G, the G is 1. In the key of C, the G is a 5 chord. Okay, according to what we're talking about here. If this is going over your head, you need the free course, first link below. Okay, so here we go. If I play the 1 chord, the next chord that most likely is going to appear is the 5 chord. 4 chord appears a lot too, but let's say the 5 chord. Let's go to it. If we go to that, it's going to tell us what our next chord is going to appear. And it looks like the 4 chord or the 6 chord are our most frequently visited chords after the 5. So we could click on that That's our 5 chord. And then what comes up after that is the 4 chord, oftentimes. You can see it's a bigger circle. It also has a percentage that's bigger. And so there you go. So you could take this in any key. If we were in the key of C, it'd be a C chord, a G chord, an A minor chord, and an F chord. If we were in the key of G, the G chord would be the 1, the 5 chord would be a D, the 6 minor chord would be an E minor, and the 4 chord would be a C, all right? A million songs written from this, okay? Easy enough. So now this other, I mentioned to you that we would talk about that in a minute. Let's do this. Let's just go to the 1 chord, and then let's go to, well, look at this, other. So that's even appearing before something else. So what are the possibilities there? Well, lots of possibilities, okay? So we could go to all these many possibilities here, and you can pick which one suits you best, okay? But I'm gonna say, let's not do that. Let's go back, okay? So we're gonna start this over again, but we could go there, okay? And if you don't like that structure, you could try something else, right? We don't want every song to sound like this, so instead of going to the 5 chord, maybe let's go to the 4 chord and let's see what's next, okay? Thank you, Mike. We're gonna be wrapping up here in just a minute. Okay, so and our next chord would be a 5 chord, 30% or 32% chance it's gonna go back to the 1 chord. Interesting, let's try it. Let's go to the 1 chord, and now what's next, okay? 47%, am I reading that right? It's gonna go back to the 4 chord, huh? Or we could go to the 5 chord. Nonetheless, you get to choose. So now, why is this all important? You can go back to my straight shot again, Mike. Thank you so much. So why is this all important? Well, it's very important because instead of grabbing at thousands of possibilities when you're either writing a song or you're trying to decipher a song, you're trying to transcribe it, you want to know because you want to make a video for YouTube, or you want to teach your student, or you want to just learn a song, you want to write a song, whatever, it's very important to know what are the go-to chords. Instead of just randomly grabbing at some thousands of chords, chances are it's going to be 2 or 3 chords that you might possibly, that are going to sound the best. And what I mean by the best is, well, pop music has proven this over the years. If you want to buck the system and you don't want to sound like a pop song that's made millions of dollars, fine, that's cool, great. Now you know what not to do. Don't do this. Pick the chords that are the others. In fact, I know some of you are literally going to go do that just because you're rebels. That's fine. I endorse that. Let's see what you come up with. Maybe you'll come up with something new that the world needs. Cool. Awesome. Friends, I know some of this is going over your heads. I don't want to do that for you, but if I stay in 1 chord land the whole time, then I'm going to lose you there when you grow up. So let's grow together in this. I know some of this is over your head. You know what to do. The very first link below is going to give you access to UGS Standard. It's absolutely going to change everything for you, I promise. In fact, if it has for you, if you're in UGS, please let other folks know. If you're in Pro, say Pro or Go Pro. If you're in the first 30, which 500,000 people have been in already, just type in 30. So other folks know I'm not playing around here. This is definitely going to help you bolster that solid foundation so that when we talk about stuff like this, you're not lost, okay? Friends, I'm here to help you in any way that I possibly can. So leave those comments. I know I can't get to the live comments. I'm sorry. This new format we're doing, it just can't do it. But you can get in touch with me on live. I'm sorry, not on live, but on my social accounts. I'm all over that stuff. So hit me up there, especially if you DM me Instagram. That's a lot easier for me to return you with a voice message or a video or something like that. So much easier. And then I can reach more people. And you'll appreciate that too, because that means I can reach you, because other people aren't typing and then I got to type back and it takes forever, okay? If you would, before you go, friends, like this video. Please do that. That's you saying thank you to me. That's you saying, Eric, I do appreciate these videos. Also, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share this with a friend, and all that great stuff. Leave your comments below. I'm here for you. I love you. I'll see you. I'm out of here.